My name is Frank Barca. I'm from Australia. I'm 44 years old. It was awesome. I was a very energetic kid. I was always outside. I was always involved in martial arts, tennis, music, drums, soccer. I was always, if I wasn't doing that, I was out in the backyard, hitting balls and running around and riding bikes and skateboards, and I was a typical child in the 70s, I got raised on boxing by my father, and, we used to have wrestling going on all the time, like WWE and local Australian-based wrestling. My dad loved wrestling, still does to this day. So for me, punching and scrapping and, mucking around my brother, throwing punches was natural. And I always believed that there was secrets that people knew about how to really, hurt another person under self-defense circumstances, under the right circumstances. And early, I liked the good guy. Like Kung Fu, he's walking around, everyone's giving him a hard time and he just kicks the crap out of him. I love that idea. Bruce Lee, massive fan of Bruce Lee through the 70s. He goes into town, minds his own business, and there's also a bunch of dudes that want to, rough him up or give him a hard time. Like, I could really relate to that. And I like that idea of a guy that was minding his business and then having these great, crazy-ass skills to just wipe everybody out. I love that idea. I thought all martial arts did kicking, punching, wrestling. When I saw Enter the Dragon and I saw that first submission that Bruce Lee pulled off at the end of that fight, that armbar, I just couldn't. I was mesmerized. I'm thinking, man, the grappling. And then of course we ran and get that tail of Jeet as soon as we could, and flipping through all those diagrams and going, look, what's a, and then asking my instructor, what's this? And every excuse under the sun, we don't do that, or just worry about your kata or something like that, you know what I mean? Or go hit pads or go into a tournament or something, But as I woke up, I realized, judo was a certain way to fight. Japanese jiu-jitsu was a certain way to fight. You could strangle a dude, you could punch him into submission, you could knock him out, I got real interested real fast, but back then not a lot of people had the answer. I went down to the local high school and that's where I found freestyle karate back in 1979.
And how old were you then?
I was 9 years old. Look, it was competition for me from the first day, because being a small guy, there were no kids' classes, we hardly wore pads, and there were big dudes, there were like guys in their mid-20s just digging in front kicks and bopping us on the nose, and it was normal for me. So I got over that really fast. But I noticed that in my first initial group of 42 that joined, I remember clearly in 79, there were 42 beginners, and out of those 42, there's nobody left. By the time I was a green belt, which is like 2 years or 3 years, I was the original one left, and then it was a big turnover because a lot of people didn't like that. But I got raised heavy-handed, Southern Italian. My dad was always whacking me in the back of the head. My grandfather was always pinching me, and and my uncles would throw me on the ground trying to dack me. So for me, it was like a big deal. They weren't really trying to wreck me because they could do that. I knew very early that this guy could just kill me, but they were trying to teach me something. As long as I wasn't getting savaged, like hurt bad, it was all good, But I never took any breaks. From 9 to right today, I'm 44, man. I've been training 35 years. Wow. I'm not joking. I'm a lifelong dedicated martial artist, and I could talk for a year on just how that's affected me as a human being. Like, it's unbelievable.